Hi everyone, this is Ambroise from Motoplaisir Motorcycle Rental in Geneva. In this video I'm going to show you the controls of the latest BMW K1600GT. So this is the key of the bike. It says keyless even if it has this physical key that shouldn't be necessary to use. You have two buttons here. This one locks all the cases and compartments. This one opens everything, and you can also turn on or off the alarm pressing and holding these two buttons. So now to switch on the bike, so this is the alarm off now. To switch on the bike, just press this button. Let's start on the left side. First thing here, you have 4 buttons. These are shortcuts to some of the features of the bike, and you can customize the function behind these buttons. The first one is currently set to adjust the heated grips. As you can see here, just press on the button. The second button is to set the heating of the seat. Talking about the heating of the seat, the passenger has a button here on the left side, 2 positions. Okay. The third button is to go back to the main screen when you are in some of the pages of the menu. The fourth button is to go directly to the My Vehicle page to be able to check the condition of the bike. Here, this button is to flash. You push it forward for high beam. This one is for the cruise control. You slide this one to the right. You can then set the speed. You can accelerate or slow down. If you touch anything like clutch or brakes, or you can even push back the throttle, it will stop cruising. You can resume pulling the lever, or you can switch off the cruise control like that. This button is for the daylight. When the little A here is displayed, that means automatically the light in the front of the bike will turn on when you go through a tunnel or if it gets dark. This button is for the hazards. Nothing much to say about that. The menu button now, it works with the wheel. So when you are on the main screen and you press up the menu button, you can browse through quite a lot of information here regarding the trip meters, trip 1 or trip 2. This is the duration of your brake. This is the average speed of trip 1. You can also display the tire pressure when the bike has been running, the range, the fuel gauge, odometer, and so on. When you press down, you enter in the menus, and you can push the wheel to the right or to the left to change pages. I press down on the menu button again. This is the display about the condition of the bike. You have the coolant temperature. The oil level will be displayed OK when the engine is warm and it's been running at idle long enough. Front wheel, rear wheel tire pressure, battery voltage, range. Next page, you go to the next page pushing the wheel like that, or to the previous page like that. So this is onboard computer 1 or trip 1. So you have the duration of the journey, duration of the brake, etc., remaining range, average speed. If you want to reset any of those information or all of them, you press down on the menu button, and here you can reset all the values or just some of them. I go back to the page pressing up on the menu button. I go to the next page with the wheel, pushing to the right. This is Trip Computer 2. This one can be set to be reset automatically after you have stopped for a while. Next page is about the tire pressure. The difference is that here you can read the specification and the difference with the actual pressure, if there is any. And this is the maintenance for the bike. I go back to the previous page like that. You go to the next page with the wheel. You can turn on the radio if you like, rotating the wheel like that. Navigation, if you have your mobile phone with the BMW Connected app installed, you can display the navigation on the screen. I'm going to demo this in a short while. You can also play your music, or you can answer your phone calls. This button is for the setting of the windshield. Here is the button for the turn signals. You push to cancel, it also cancels by itself. Under here you have the horn. Here, I forgot to mention there is a compartment. This compartment is locked with all the cases of the bike when you press the button on the key. Just press on the lock to open. This button is to engage the reverse gear. To be able to engage the reverse gear, of course, the engine has to be running. You should be in neutral. No side stand out, otherwise it does not go backwards. So when you press the button, the R will stop blinking, and then you will be able to go backwards pressing this button, that is the starter button. So let me do a quick demo. Turn on the engine first. So we press the button while we pull on the handbrake. So now reverse gear is engaged, and then you can press on this button. This button is for the additional lights that are under here on each side of the engine. You have a compartment on this bike for your phone. You have a button on the left side here of the screen. Press here. The windshield lifts up, and this is the compartment for your phone. Be careful. Only the smaller phones will fit in the compartment. It has to be plugged in, unlike in the 1250 RT, where the phone is charged wirelessly. So you have to plug your phone with a cable. The plug is here. It's a USB-C plug. That means it's the new generation of USB USB plugs, rounded ones. So the phone has to be connected to the bike in two different ways. First, with Bluetooth and joining the Wi-Fi network of the bike. And then it starts the map mode. And here you can display the screen. On the screen of the bike, you can display the map. You can split the screen of the bike, the screen is very wide. You can split it. When you are on the main screen, you push all the way to the left to display full screen, or you push to the right, and then you can choose what to display on the right-hand side of the screen. You have now onboard computer 1. You can display trip computer. You can display the map. You can play with the radio. And if you want to come back to the main screen, you pull on the wheel. If you want to display the map of the GPS full screen, you press down on the menu button, choose navigation, and here you can display the whole map on the screen. Some of our customers have been complaining about this system, that quite often the phone is disconnected from the bike, so you lose the map, so you have to stop, restart everything. So it's a bit frustrating. That's why we have put a TomTom mount. If you prefer to use something that is for sure reliable, you go for the TomTom. This system helps if you have nothing else, but we do not recommend to go on a long journey with such system. And if you have only one phone and you use it to take pictures and so on, it's better to keep that in your pocket. I also suggest you have the power cord. The shorter, the better, otherwise it does not fit under here. So you can switch off the bike pressing this button. To lock the steering, you turn the handlebar to the left and you press and hold this button. And now it's locked. To unlock, just come close to the bike with the key and you can unlock like that. The fuel cap is keyless as well. You can open it when the bike is off, a short while after you have switched off the bike. So this is the alarm on. This button is for the emergency call. So when you press this button, the bike calls a BMW call center that is able to localize the bike and call for help for you. Of course, if you have no choice, you can press this button. Otherwise, you have my mobile phone on the contract. I'm, of course, here to help you in case there is any problem. This button is to close or open all the cases at once. So you can do that during the ride. When the cases are locked, you have this light on. So for instance, this is very useful if you stop at a toll gate. You cannot open this compartment with your credit card in. Just press this button and then you will be able to access inside. This button is for the riding modes. You have 3 riding modes: dynamic, rain, and road. This adjusts the throttle response, ABS, as well as the suspension. You press up here to kill the engine, press down to start. You have a 12-volt plug here on the right side. On this bike you have wind deflectors. So in this position the airflow will go straight to you. That is very useful when it gets very hot. So you will be able to have some fresh air flowing on you. And if you don't want the air, you just close like that. So, of course, you have the same thing on both sides. You have another compartment on the right here. To open or close the cases, just press on the button when the cases are unlocked, and then you just have to lift up this lever. It's about the same with the top case. Press this button and then you can lift the lid. You have a small light in the top case. The bike has the shifter up and down. Let me show you quickly the main settings on the bike. Here in the assist menu, you can adjust the damping of the suspension. This is linked to the riding mode, but here you can set the suspension to dynamic even in the road setting. The preload here is auto, but when the engine is running, you can adjust that to the lowest preload setting or the highest. This is the traction control. This is the hill start control. It's currently manual. That means you have to pull twice on the brakes to lock the brakes when you are trying to start uphill. It can also be set to automatic if you like. Heating. Here you can adjust the heat of the grips or your seat. As I said, you have a shortcut that is much more convenient thanks to the button on the left side. Vehicle settings, this is for the alarm. It's currently set to arm automatically when you go away from the bike, and it goes off when you come close to the bike. These are the system settings. Here you can adjust the functionality of each of the buttons. So for instance, you can choose from all these options that you can assign to the button. You can adjust the height of the seat. So for that, you need the physical key of the bike. It's probably the only time you need the key. So you turn the key to the rear and you lift the seat. Be careful, there is a cable as the seat is heated. You can find a high visibility jacket under the seat. You can adjust the height of the seat, flipping this part. It's currently on the low position. You rotate it like that, and it is now set to the high position. And here you can find a screwdriver and a wrench if you need. Thanks a lot for your attention. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have any questions, of course, you have my mobile phone on the contract. I hope you will enjoy the ride. Thank you. Bye.